Hello everyone, welcome once again to the Mark and Megan Show. Make Macomb your home. And we're here in Macomb County at Boyka's Farm, 23 Mile Road, right near Card Road. Again, a great facility and a great family farm where they actually sell products right here roadside. So with us today is our special guest, actually the guy that runs the show out here, Ken DeCook. Ken, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure having you and Megan here today.
It's pretty exciting. This is actually right around the corner from my house.
Oh, is it really?
So, yeah, it's a stone throw away.
Oh, good.
So I was a kid born and raised in the city of Warren, but coming out here and realizing the farming industry in Macomb County is absolutely incredible. Actually, more so than I ever anticipated. In fact, we're going to have a few questions here, and we're going to give the audience an opportunity after the break to see if they know the answers here. First question is, how many farms do you think there are in Macomb County? And with that, how many of them do you think are dairy farms? And then the last question I'm going to ask is, what do you think the actual amount of money spent by consumers in Macomb County on food annually here in Macomb County? So the three questions, we're going to kind of have answers after the break. I want you to think about that. Again, how many farms in Macomb County? How many of those farms are dairy farms? And how much money is spent annually here in Macomb County on food products?
Good
We're not going to
questions.
give those answers.
No, could you add a fourth question?
Sure.
Curiosity is, how many years of edible corn comes off a sweet corn stalk?
And Ken's going to have that answer. I'm going to try to think about this. I'm going to think
We'll
about
see
this
how much
one.
Mark you know about
I'm gonna have to.
farming in
I'm gonna have to think about that while we're asking questions here. So, Ken, how long has the family farm been out here?
Here, we've been moved here since 1963. Grandpa DeCook purchased the property in 1954, but it took a while to clear the land off because it was a dairy farm, beef and that. So we've been farming here since 1963, me and my brothers and mom and dad.
Outstanding. Now, you have a tremendous interest in the farming and agricultural industry here in Macomb County. In fact, you sit on a few boards. What are the other roles besides actually getting up early in the morning and tending to the crops out here?
I'm on the board of directors of Macomb County Farm Bureau and also current chair of Macomb Agricultural Purchase of Developmental Rights, which is made up of the 6 townships of the northern part of Macomb, which is Armada, Bruce, Richmond, Washington, Ray, and Lennox Township.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Got a lot of responsibility other than just farming.
Yeah, quite a little gem up here. So what do you guys offer here?
What we grow here is, you can see in the background, we have sweet corn and tomatoes, cantaloupe, watermelon, about 10 or 12 different type varieties of peppers, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, hard squash, cucumbers, pickles, zucchini, and pumpkins.
And if I wanted a pumpkin, would I pull over on the side of the road and come to you guys?
We rather you prefer pulling by the stand and purchase it.
stand. Good.
Not that that's the old-fashioned way of help yourself, but I think Mark would be more safe and feeling better if you pulled into the stand instead of parking alongside the road and helping
A lot
yourself.
safer.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to, we kind of talked about this before. When we talk about agriculture here in Macomb County, many people don't really understand the value of it and how important it is. It's part of our rich history, not just in Macomb County, but in southeast Michigan and in the state of Michigan. And it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I'm a kid who was born and raised in the city of Warren, and I thought all the corn was grown at Kroger's, and all the milk was established in a carton over at the Farmer Jack's. But the reality is, there really is a tremendous industry that we have here in Macomb County, as well as the state of Michigan, when it comes to agriculture.
Correct, because we're kind of like the silent business part of Macomb County. A lot of people, like you mentioned, Mark, don't realize where it all comes from, but they'd be surprised when we come into season, a number of your local independent large stores purchase stuff from us, either directly or from the Eastern Market, and even some of the chain stores too, in a roundabout way.
Isn't that how you started? I mean, wasn't your family, when they, I guess, attended to the actual crop, didn't most of it get shipped down to the market?
Correct. We were wholesaling up to about 1982, going down to the Eastern Market and the Detroit Produce Terminal and some of the chain stores' warehouses and the independent ones. But Mom and Dad, I'm the oldest out of 4 kids. When we got bigger, needed to improve and expand in a certain way, and getting more land was a little bit harder, so Dad decided to try the stand, and that took off, and pretty much all of our produce and that goes through the stand.
So the stand became a big, kind of like a shelter, if you will, actually a storefront that you have out here on 23 Mile Road.
We rather call it a farm market than a
There
store.
you go.
I like it.
That's good.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yes,
Farm
it was a way of increasing profit. There was more responsibility, sometimes more headaches than wholesaling. but it was a way for us to increase the income to spread around for the family at the time.
It's kind of a neat industry, and I recognize and I see more and more in my responsibility as county executive to help promote the industry. But boy, I tell you what, it's a close-knit group of individuals that really do a multitude of things. I mean, not just the farming and, as you mentioned, the farm markets that are here, like you have on 23 Mile Road, but also the various orchards that they have out there. We have the cider mills and even the dairy products that are offered up here in Macomb County, and agritourism is becoming a very popular thing. But you guys all tend to work together. It's competitive to some degree, but yet you guys are very much into promoting agriculture here in Macomb County.
Correct. It's like any other business category. We watch and see how the other ones are doing, if something new's happening. And we've had it times before where somebody comes short on some product and we got excess, we sell it to them and vice versa. But it's working together, and even like two committees I'm on mentioned, responding to things that affect you. Not just what goes on out in the field, but also in the legislative, at the county level, state level, because a lot of people are quite a few generations off of the farm. If you go back in your family tree, you'd be surprised how quick somebody was raised on a farm. Yeah. Well, now it's many generations down. Years ago, we used to have somebody bring their kids here, and they come around the stand and point out to the fields and said, I used to work out there like that. Now it's grandpa and grandma bringing the grandkids and saying, I used to work out there. So there's where we got to work to keep the people informed of what's happening in the ag industry when issues come up, and explain things and point things out and work together.
And get them interested. That's another one of those, I guess, fun facts that I didn't realize. That could have been another question for our viewers to answer after the break, but I guess I'll bring it up now. I come to understand that the average age of a farmer is about 54 years of age. Is that true?
Unfortunately, yes, because it's an industry not too many kids are taking up and picking up from mom and dad, because it's hard work. There's some good times and you get some enjoyment out of it. But this year, with all the rain and that, there's a lot of discouragement. It's a challenge, and there's where a lot of kids, when they grow up, go off into other job opportunities and that, and there's very few that want to take it on because of the headaches dealing with the weather, market conditions, and also trying to get help when you need it and stuff going on.
You've been doing this since you were a kid?
Yeah.
You have kids yourself?
Pardon?
You have children of your own?
No.
Okay, but who's coming up after you?
That'd be a good question to find out.
Okay, you're still waiting to figure that part out, eh?
Well, I'm still working on trying to get through this year and hopefully the next years to come, and then see where it goes from there.
And how did you guys pick a name for this farm?
Boyka is Belgium or Flemish for boy. Our dad was the oldest of 3 sons, and he was born at home, and he was kind of underweight and a little ill health that his dad baptized him right away. But he pulled through, and when the grandparents, friends, and families would come and visit and that, they'd speak to Flemish and ask, how's the little Boyka doing? Boy. And it stuck with them. So I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and we started up the stand in 1982, I believe. We decided to call the place Boyka's on behalf of Dad and 4 boys in the family.
Excellent. It's a good little history lesson.
It is. I like that. It's kind of a cute name for the facility that you have out here. Again, on 23 Mile Road by Card and Romeo Plank. Wonderful roadside market that they have here. They do a great job. So if you ever have an opportunity to be out in the Macomb Township area, please stop by. Purchase some of those products that they have here. Fresh produce that they have out here in Macomb Township at Boyka Farms. And Ken DeCook, he's out here tending to those crops every year. So I'm fortunate. I live right across the street, and I get that fresh product all the time.
If I could add to that, Mark, there's a number of farm markets on 23, and exactly we're about 1 mile west of Card Road.
Next, I get the opportunity to actually drive the tractor. So Ken's going to start this thing up. He's going to fire it up here. Go ahead, Ken. Show us how you at least start this thing up for our viewers here. It's an old tractor, but man, I tell you what, this thing runs like a champ. All right, we're gonna go tend to the fields, and I'm going to actually drive this thing around while people start picking some corn. grab the big one.
Yeah.
And just twist it. Like that. Got
Or
it.
like the way it is, you go to your right. It'll
Got
come
it.
off easier.
Put this one here. That one ready?
Yeah.
That one over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. That's too little.
Now you gotta watch out for the bird pick.
I want the bird.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Go this way?
Yeah.
Yay!
See how easy it came off?
Yeah.
Just watch.
All right, we're back here at Boyka's farm. And Mark, how was that tractor ride that you guys just took?
That was pretty incredible, man. I think I should have been a farm boy. What do you think, Ken?
See you here tomorrow at 5.
5 a.m.
I thought he was going to say stick to your day job.
Yeah.
So-
Well, good job. Good job. I'm glad you had fun on it.
We did,
All
we
right.
did.
We have the answers to those questions that we were talking about earlier. Do you got the answers?
I sure do.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to repeat the question. So those of you that are sitting at home watching, hopefully you got these right. First question was, how many farms in Macomb County? I was actually stunned at these numbers. When I first was asked that question, I didn't have this answer. 475 farms in Macomb County. And they cover
Wow.
nearly 62,000 acres. I mean, that actually blew my mind.
Wow.
The other was how many of those are dairy farms, which again was another surprising, staggering statistic. 18 dairy farms here in Macomb County.
Okay.
And now the annual amount spent by consumers on food here in Macomb County, $2 billion annually.
Wow.
So, well, this is a high-tech farmer, man. He's
He
actually got a
is.
phone. He's got a cell phone. This is pretty cool
Right.
stuff, man.
High-tech.
I love it.
When I gotta get a hold of them help, I gotta
Yeah.
contact them.
These poor guys need them right now to get out
They
there and
need the
tend to the
boss.
fields. Hey, you had a great question. And what was your question again?
How many edible ears of corn come off of one corn stalk?
So one corn stalk that
Oh,
we see in the
sweet corn,
background
yeah.
here, how many ears of corn come off of that? First off, why do they call it an ear of corn?
I have no idea. That one came up way before my time and your time.
I guess it's time to go to Google. I'm gonna search. So anyway, what I would guess. Oh boy, I'm trying not to look. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10. Meg?
I'm gonna guess ears of corn. I would say 6.
6.
6 come off of one stalk.
Actually, marketable 1 ear.
1?
1 ear.
1 ear of corn on that whole
You
stalk.
could get a second one, but it's going to be shorter or not filled out all the way, or
Holy
not
cow! I would have
marketable.
never guessed that.
So that's why you see so many stalks in the cornfield for sweet corn.
Wow.
And that's why it takes so much land to produce the produce and food
I
for
would
the
have
people
never
in
guessed
Macomb
that.
County and Michigan.
That is a shocker.
Yeah. I never would have thought that. It's like a unicorn.
Oh my God! She did not just say that. That was a good one though.
Thanks.
I like that.
Thanks.
A unicorn. That's good. That one's gonna go down in the history books. I like that. I'm gonna use that as a joke somewhere down
It's
the
a
road.
good one.
Some kind of a farm thing that I might be at. All right. At any rate, we're gonna meet the kids from the 4-H shortly after we come back from this break here. Hello everyone, welcome back once again to the Mark and Megan Show, Make Macomb Your Home. And today we're with 2 other individuals that understand a little bit about the agricultural industry, and they actually come from the Michigan State University Extension, MSU Extension, and help out with a program called 4-H. We have with us today Corey and Elizabeth, or Liz. She prefers either one. So Corey, Liz, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
What is the MSU Extension, and in particular dealing with 4-H? What is it all about?
Well, Extension actually has 4 umbrellas institutes. We work for the Child and Youth Institute, and our purpose is to provide educational opportunities through activities, programs, project areas for the Macomb youth.
What kind of programs do they offer for the kids?
Sometimes it's financial literacy programs, sometimes it's food and nutrition programs, sometimes it's career and workforce development program. We have what we call a life skills wheel, and we try to do a lot of surveys within the Macomb County youth to determine what their needs and what the kids want. It's all about what the kids want. That's when they participate, when you're exploring the things they want.
How long have you been into this this MSU Extension with the 4-H?
I've actually been a whole year with MSU Extension, but I've had a lifetime of working with other organizations that deal with youth development.
And so now what do you do with the 4-H kids?
Basically, we oversee the whole program within Macomb County. So we recruit volunteers, we train volunteers to work with the youth, and then we sort of administrate over the whole situation. So if anyone has issues or problems or questions or concerns, or they're looking for a certain resource, then they come find us, and then we will either connect them with that resource or provide that resource for them. So for us, we are very indirect in the way that we work with youth. We empower the volunteers in the communities that have the expertise in these areas that they're interested in to work with those youth and sort of guide them through what they're trying to learn about.
Well, Corey, Liz, let me ask you something. Most people would get the understanding. Every time I hear about 4-H, it deals with somehow with the agricultural industry or the farming industry. Is that true, or is it something other than just that?
No, absolutely. It was the birthplace of how we became about, was to teach youth how to better ways of feed and farm for our society. But as we said, we want to do what the youth want to do, and it's an ever-changing world. So we explore a lot of high technology stuff. The kids get the opportunity to build rockets. They get to explore in chemistry, sewing. It's truly photography. It's truly whatever the youth want to explore in our environment.
The idea is we get the kids involved in something with their hands, and they learn the skills one-on-one that are really going to take them into the future and make them successful. So using that experiential learning model, do, reflect, and apply, where they're actually thinking about what they've been doing, they can go in any direction. So whatever they are interested in, and that's, I think, the power of 4-H, is that whatever the kids are interested in, we can find an experiential learning activity for them to participate in, and we can open up a whole new project areas and whole new areas for them to go. So what we've seen in the past is that we've been very heavily focused on agriculture because that's where it came out of. That was the birthplace, as Liz said. However, now we're really reaching into urban areas and trying to get into more STEM research and STEM education opportunities for the kids, and thinking about how we can connect urban kids who are not necessarily, able to come out to farms and still use the experiential learning process to become successful in life.
I like 4-H because you get to spend time with your animals, and I really like showing lambs because I get to spend time with them and work with them and like train them to walk with me, and you get to show them in the arena and go against people, and it's really fun.
And when you show them, I mean, is it just people, do they buy these sheep, or is it just something that
you sell them for money, and then people buy them from you for food.
Oh, okay. So people will take them and use them for something that they put in the freezer and kind of grill.
Yep.
Okay. How did you feel about that? In other words, after you're showing them, do you give them names?
Yeah, my lamb's names are Lock and Dock.
Well, how do you deal with that? I mean, that's got to be part of the program itself, understanding, how to raise them, how to feed them, and how to show them, and then knowing somebody's going to take it and actually have it as food on the table. Was that hard at first?
Yeah, it was hard when they took them as food, but I got used to it as when I showed them for 2 years, and doesn't bother me as much now.
Okay, because you realize, that's kind of what animals are for, is for people to eat and put on a plate.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you have any brothers or sisters that are into 4-H?
Yeah, I have 2 sisters. One of my sisters shows chickens, and one shows pigs.
And you got a neat little ribbon. I mean, that thing is a big ribbon. It's actually, I think it's Megan's favorite color. It's purple. What is that all about?
This is my first place ribbon when I showed horses. It was a trail pattern I had to do with my horse.
And when you say showed it, did you ride it or did you walk it around?
Yeah, I rode it.
Oh, so you ride horses too, eh?
Like they make up a trail, and then you have to do the pattern.
Very good.
I show pigs, and I also show non-livestock projects like crafts and foods. There's also that in 4-H. It's not just about animals.
And tell me about your pigs. How many do you have? What are their names?
I have 2 pigs. They're named Sugar and Spice, and they're more spice than sugar sometimes. And I love raising them. I get them around the end of May, and I work with them, and they get used to me, and I get used to them, and they become sort of like a dog to you, and you train them to walk, and you use it's a show stick, and you lead them with the show stick by tapping them on either side of the face to direct them.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 4th year.
What is it you get out of it? In other words, kind of like experiences from raising these pigs, showing these pigs, and then selling them off. I mean, what kind of experience does this provide for you, or what does it make you think about life?
It definitely gives you a lot of responsibilities, and it definitely teaches you how you're going to have to deal with things that are sometimes out of your control. You have to deal with, sometimes a pig, it can be very stubborn, so you have to take different directions of how you're going to teach it to do what it needs to do. And also in 4-H, it's not solely about just the animal itself. You learn a lot just by meeting new people and doing new things, like through community service is a big way of doing it. That's the main thing in 4-H. We give back a lot to the community, and through giving back to the community, you get to learn about how much the community actually gives to you too. And it can be very difficult to let go of them, but you kind of get used to it as you get older and continue to show them. But you always know that you're giving good quality meat, and you gave the pigs a good, healthy life.
And so when you have started off doing that, I mean, was it difficult at first, or do you run into certain pigs that you really just become attached to, even still today, that makes it a little bit challenging for you?
It does. Before I started showing pigs, I used to show goats, and I showed goats for 2 years, and because goats can become so much more friendlier than pigs can sometimes be, that was really hard for me. So that's kind of why I stopped showing them, because I had such a hard time letting them go. But sometimes with the pigs too, because I know sometimes people think it just dirty pigs, but they're really not. They can become kind of like a dog, and they follow you around, and they sit and they bark, and they do all sorts of things with you. So it can be difficult, but you always know you're doing a very good thing in the end.
Can you talk about some of the ribbons that you've won?
I've actually won quite a few things. I used to show rabbits also, and I won Best Showman quite a few times. And when I showed goats, I got Grand Champion for my pen and for a single. And I won 4-H Queen a couple years ago, which is basically you go through an interview process, and you're on a court, and there's a girls' court and a guys' court, and there's first, second, runner-up, and then there's king and queen, and I won when I was 14.
I liked animals, so I went into 4-H. I thought it'd be fun to be around animals more.
When you say showing horses, what do you mean by showing them?
Like riding them in an arena, and like with more friends, and you get judged, and people place you, and like there's judges in the center, and they tell you what to do, and you do it.
How old were you when you started?
Riding horses. I was about 11.
No kidding. So, I mean, do you actually really enjoy that? Is that something you're going to stick with for as long as you can?
Yeah.
And so where do you live in Macomb County, and then where do you go participate in 4-H events?
I live in Arlington, Michigan, and I go to these shows at Camp Rotary, and then I show at the Armada Fair also. And that's where I show.
You get any brothers or sisters into it as well?
Yeah, I have brothers and sisters.
And do they participate in 4-H too?
Yes.
What do they like to do?
They show steers.
When you say show steers, do they actually feed them, grow them, and then when you say show them, actually for sale, or what do they do?
They show them in an arena, and they sell them.
Okay, so somebody could buy them and have them taken to the butcher and put them in the freezer?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your ribbon that you have here.
Oh, this is a ribbon from my one of my horse shows. It was from a pleasure class, which is based on your horse, so I got second place on that.
How did you get second place? In other words, you actually rode the horse around the arena, and you were judged on your riding abilities?
Yeah.
And when they do riding abilities, what do they look at? What do they look for and all that?
They want a slow trot and slow canter, and they want you to look proper and straight up and not so slouchy, and they want you to look neat. And
do horses have to do jumps or anything? What does a course consist of?
Well, it depends if you do. There's two different styles, English and Western, but I do Western, so I don't jump. But at the show, some people do jump, and there's a course and patterns.
Well, we just want to thank everybody from the MSU Extension at the 4-H group. It's been really exciting talking to all you guys.
Great kids, I got to tell you, very exciting and it's interesting listening to your I guess upbringing, if you will, through the 4-H and the experiences that you had and the awards that you have won. Pretty incredible. But again, I think a tribute to those that are actually running those programs. So thanks for what it is you do for these kids. And if anybody at home has an interest in a kid that wants to get into the 4-H program, you could check out the website that's on the screen here. Very unique program, very good opportunity for these kids, and you can tell these young ladies truly enjoy that experience and have been for some time. So we want to thank them once again. Now we're going to show you our Pet of the Week with Jeff Randazzo.
All right, we're back here at Boyka's Farm, and we are now here with Mr. Jeffrey Randazzo, ACO officer. And we have a pet that can get adopted here. Who is this?
This is Sophie. She's an 8-year-old border collie. She's up for adoption at the shelter currently. You could also find her on Make Macomb Your Home website. So she's very sweet. She's 8 years old, and she's wonderful. She's a very, very intelligent dog. Border collies are known for their intelligence and their stamina. So she saw that cornfield back there, and she wanted to go. So she'd make somebody. She's very good with people, very good with other dogs. So she would make someone a really wonderful pet.
Maybe a good family dog.
Wait
Absolutely.
a minute.
Wonderful
He
family
brought it up, so I got to ask the question now.
What?
Jeff, how many edible
yes.
ears of corn on the corn stalk? When you drive by, you see those corn stalks in the field. How many edible ears come off of those corn stalks?
Of one corn stalk?
One corn stalk.
I think there's 3 or 4.
Edible ears of corn. Just
Edible? I bet you probably 1.
there's only one that grows on it.
Oh, really?
You believe that?
Yeah.
One.
Good job. You're smart.
When I went to agriculture school, I'm like, okay, what was that question?
There's only one that comes out of it. So,
Nice.
But
that was a good question.
it is. I just learned that from Ken Boykas over here at the farm.
Yep.
So Ken DeCook kind of gave us that question earlier on, and we just have been asking everybody that question. So again, if you ever have an opportunity, you want to make a home for a pet here in Macomb, please go to our website, makemacombyyourhome.com. Check on the actual link to give these wonderful pets that we have at the shelter a nice home. And this is an absolutely beautiful dog here. 8 years old, but I tell you what an incredible puppy to have at home.
Incredible, and she's full of energy.
Here's Sweetie Pie.
And she'd make someone a wonderful, wonderful family pet. So come on down to the shelter, visit it.
Oh my gosh, you're not going to be there very long, I can tell. You're too sweet. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us on the Mark and Megan Show. Make Macomb your home, and until next time, please have a safe and happy week. Thank you very much. Yours is